3. So one of these teams will be coming out the victors at the very end. I also just kind of like the synergy between these two teams, Lunar Guardians, Leo's Angels. You kind of have this, like celestial, otherworldly theme going on.
Yeah, I need to check my horoscope today, Ham. It's going to be a great day, though, right now. Either way for Lunar Guardians and Leo's Angels. Being able to participate in this tournament, bringing light to all of the women and those who identify as non-binary in our community. It's a complete honor, and we are very lucky to be casting this.
Dude, these have been some games so far. Yo, you check that emo potato? You check that emo potato? What a way to come alive, man. Yo, like I am very excited for, any potential for wacky comps here on Night Market. I mean, this is, we usually see goats, and I think we can say at this point that maybe Leo's Angels is a bit better at like the goats kind of dive meta, whereas Lunar Guardians excel when, you kind of throw the rulebook out of the window.
We have seen quite a bit of Pharah in the past on Gardens as well, so I won't be shocked if both teams who have been running very strong pharmacies decide to bring that out. Now, as we do look at the compositions coming in right now, if we can trust these players, it does look like Lunar Guardians will indeed be running that pharmacy with Emo Potato continuing to stand out on that Widowmaker. So right now, we could be seeing some excellent damage-boosted headshots. Now, Kite will be on a McCree of her own, so that will once again be a counter to UFO's Pharah in the sky.
UFO, gotta stay safe. A lot of people don't know what you are. They're like, what is that, a drone? And they shoot you? No, that's not going to be the way for this Pharah. Hopefully, as already taking a ton of damage, putting in quite a bit on the point themselves. Leo's Angels have already made their way onto the objective, trying to pressure things out, but Stewardess is gone. This is a huge advantage for Lunar Guardians, who now simply have to put their bodies on the point, and we do see that fall through. Luea and Kite taking a trip back to respawn in short order as Lunar Guardians looking ready to capitalize. Ooh, nice boot from X-Aries, but unfortunately, man advantage will still show this fight to go the way of Guardians.
Yes, we did see Stewardess and Cupcake leaping in on their own while the rest of the squishy members of their team went directly onto point. So there was a bit of a disconnect from the front line, from the rest of the team for Leo's Angels. So right now, Lunar Guardians is able to take advantage of that, receiving the first tick of this point, and we do see 3 ultimates almost online, especially with that Rocket Barrage coming soon.
Ooh, shield broken! Barrage from above. Wake up and smell the rockets, folks. Kite taken down by the hero. They're trying to counter here. Is always going to be a feels bad, and Lunar Guardians maintain control.
Yes, and right now they only had to use a single ultimate. They now have both support ultimates online with Sound Barrier, going to be vital for any major damage coming in from either Kite or Ivan with that tactical visor. We haven't seen Soldier 76 in a while, Ham.
Oh, my favorite gay dad, and it's canon now. So, Kite has the high noon. Hopefully all the Lunar Guardians wearing their watches, but no, in the meantime, Emo Potato finds the head of Luea once again. It's like kind of starting to feel personal at this point, just throwing it out there. Saki Primal Raging towards Spawn takes out X-Aries as well, and that's kind of all you need in order to hold 65% for Lunar Guardians.
Yes, but Kite switches from the McCree, even though she was almost at that high noon available. So there will only be now 5 ultimates online for Leos instead of the potential 6-pack they were going to be working with. Emo Potato has infrared sight open, so they will have to be a bit more cautious as this defense matrix will be using a lot of work to deal with UFO's barrage.
Ooh, nice. I see what you're doing there. Transcendence to make sure that 76 stays alive in the duration of the tack visor, but Anscoop says, well, why don't you feel the healing power of the music? Kiwi picks up 1 kill as her bombs are wont to do, and once again it's a brawl on the point. Stewardess alone here trying to keep overtime alive, and in the meantime the squishy backline falling in spades to Saki and Kiwi from the Lunar Guardians. Cupcake though making things interesting. Justice coming in though cleans up that diva, and that will be our first round of our 3rd map, going the way of Lunar Guardians.
Yes, Lunar Guardians has all of the momentum going in after that very strong victory on King's Row, so their mental game is extremely high. They only have to win this next point to be able to be the champions of this matchup. And we will be headed over to Control Center, where we typically do see that triple tank, triple support composition, but occasionally a Mei too, Ham.
Mei has gotten more and more popular on Control Center, although with her wall nerf and her primary fire nerf, we may not be seeing our favorite ice queen gracing our screens this time. As I say that, though, both teams, of course, showing Mei in spawns. So
I think they hear this.
Yeah, they are definitely listening in. Hi, guys. Love the game so far.
It's
UFO
great.
and Kite. It's going to be another head-to-head duel between these two players this time around with icicles, not bullets, but they're probably equally as deadly. Who's going to get a great first wall? Oh, UFO won't have the chance as Stewardess takes her out of the fight immediately, and the rest of the kills falling right afterwards. Another wall actually kind of hampering Ivan, who really wanted to go in aggressively and capitalize off of this early advantage. You know, Katrina, Boop said this the other day, and I have to agree. Mei is, really one of the only heroes that can play for the other team.
Oh, I completely agree. It's happened to me way too many times when I've been playing in quick play with you, Ham. I'm way too familiar. But we do see Stocky coming up with great momentum, and the Earthshatter is blocked.
Ooh, and the stun comes onto Stewardess. Earthshatter for not, and Stewardess not long for the world either, as the fight advantage swings the way of Lunar Guardians. Everybody's swinging every which way, but the focus fire is there. Time to kill, not a big issue for Lunar Guardians this time around as they sweep this point. Only 25 or so percentage going to be going the way of Leo's Angels.
It was kind of cute in a sad way. That Zenyatta just circling around the middle, trying to be sneaky, stalling as long as she could. But right now, yes, Lunar Guardians will be able to take advantage of their ultimate advantage with Emo Potato having all of this armor available, with Rally and Saki having an Earthshatter of her own combined with a Blizzard. This can be deadly.
Rally popped here. Will it be enough, though, versus this Blizzard? Everybody is caught in here. An excellent bubble saving most of Leo's Angels. Grab now coming in. Everybody's frozen. There's no escape, especially with that wall, but it doesn't matter. Saki tunneling through time-space, finds the charge kill onto X Ares regardless, but things are even up once again. Sound barrier, burn from Red J, just trying to hold on to this point. 38% now here for the Lunar Guardians. Saki cut down before she could channel that. Earthshatter is going to be a big feels bad. Stewardess hops back into the confines of that Blizzard just to get saved and throw down the hammer. Stewardess, man alive.
Everyone pressed Q in that fight, Ham, and right now we did see Leo's Angels coming out on top, not just because of their coordination, but because of well-timed support ultimates. Kite also was able to use Blizzard quite quickly, and due to excellent wall placement, took out Saki first, allowing Stewardess to be able to get a phenomenal Earthshatter, which closed out the rest of this fight. Now with 44% on the board for Leo's Angels, they are just waiting for Cupcake to be able to use her Graviton Surge, which will come out relatively soon.
Two walls out as well. Grab comes in. Grab plus Blizzard, always a great fight ending combination.
Ouch.
Swing, the Stewardess, swing. Oh, 2-kill Fire Strike. That's another great golden day for Reinhardt.
Definitely, I do see. Oh, I think she might have to treat herself to a golden hammer after this wonderful gameplay. We do see Ansku, though, will be able to have Transcendence. We are in last team fight territory with 75% on the clock. But oh, we do see Saki getting separated due to that Mei wall.
Counter charge though from Saki, keeps her alive, but only just falls here, and now Stewardess has a big advantage even with the Discord bubble on this Reinhardt. She has the shield up, protecting the rest of the team. Lunar Guardians have to make their way onto the point, and they can't. UFO taken down head-to-head versus Kite. That's going to be 1 for Kite, so that's, I don't know, 10 versus 16 at this point, but there still is more point left. 2 seconds specifically as the Zenyatta keeps things alive here. Unscoop popping that crucial ultimate means that it won't be available to save Emo Potato from the shatter. Emo Potato goes down. Saki falls to a charge from Stewardess as well, and Leo's Angels ready to make their mark known here on Control Center. They gave up Night Market, but they're tying things up 1-1.
Leo's Angels are the queens of Control Center. We are going the distance, Ham. We are going for speed. We have an Emo Potato, so I mean, what more could you ask for from Overwatch, Ham? We are being treated as we do head over finally to Gardens, the ultimate showdown. I do believe Saki will be able to shine as she does show her Reinhardt. Stewardess, I believe, prefers this Reinhardt, as we did see so many brilliant fire strikes, great timed earth shatters from this player. So we will see, as we do see the two different main tanks face off, which one will be more successful on Gardens, do you think?
I don't know. It's a big question. Stewardess certainly doesn't seem to receive as much resources from her team, so you always got to keep that in mind. I just really like the head-to-head Stewardess versus Saki, Kite versus Emo Potato, who are, by the way, again on Widowmakers. So things continue on. We got a full breakfast between the cupcakes, kiwis, and potatoes here, as Lunar Guardians are pressuring the point first. They got all the bodies here. Leo's Angels getting really biffed and bopped this way and that, but Emo Potato will be the first one to fall. Cupcake closes the distance, finds that Widowmaker, but in doing so seals her own death warrant. Flew a little bit too close to the bird of prey in the sky. Resurrection comes through, so it's going to be a 6v5 here. As the words leave my mouth though, 5v5, 5v4, 4v4, and the trays just back and forth between these two very evenly matched teams. Ivan 65% up to that barrage, could be a fight ender as long as it can just stay alive a little bit longer. Stewardess, finally, she really likes staying on the point, and this time around the point will be hers once she gets rid of this Lucio. Get out of here, Lucio. No! Hansku takes down Stewardess. This is like top 10 anime battles happening right now. Oh man alive, Katrina.
Yes, right now we do see almost a mirror composition. The only difference is Cupcake on that Tracer versus Kiwi on the Diva. So we want to see if damage or sustain reigns supreme. Oh, I think it's going to be damage, Ham.
I think it's justice that reigns supreme here, Katrina. Somehow, Kiwi's still in this despite taking a full barrage to the face. Finally, Leo's Angels will capture this point first, and that's good news for the defending Farah.
Yes, right now, though, Lunar Guardians will have the ultimate advantages. They will have 5 online going into this point. Leo's Angels have resources of their own, especially to support ultimates, which are so necessary to counter all of this. Oh, and they do lose. Lunar's Guardians lose Ansku right away, but is resurrected immediately.
That means no res available for UFO in the ensuing fight. As you say, press Q to respawn if you're a Farah player. Self-destruct out here, not going to be picking up anything, but a little bit more room for Lunar Guardians to actually make their way onto the point. Stewardess finds the kill onto Emo Potato. Ivan can now fly that much more freely. Kite, though, across the aisle is also taken out. Again, a 4v4, folks, right here on the objective. Cupcake so close to the pulse bomb. Are we going to see a stick? None necessary as Saki goes down. Justice reigns from above, and Ivan only finds his own kill. That's a feels bad as Cupcake gets the stick onto UFO. Knock your books for that one. You don't see that every day, folks. And now Lunar Guardians, regardless of that pulse bomb kill, still rebounding back, and they will take this point.
Yes, but great stalling coming in from Leo's Angels. They will be at 65%. Kite just sacrifices herself to the rest of Lunar Guardians, hoping for another great push coming in from Leo's. Lunar Guardians will have to work quite a bit to get as much control percentage, as now they have swapped over to the Genji and the Tracer. They have now a dive composition. Kite realizes that and will be going over to the McCree. That stun ability is going to be very dangerous.
Ooh, maybe not as dangerous, though, as a Cupcake. Dire Breeders. Valkyrie now popped by Red J as Stewardess is primal raging here, trying to make a bit more space for the rest of her teammates to get onto the objective. So far, no kills have yet come through. Now, Barrage coming through from Ivan, not going to be doing anything. It's actually a reflex kill by UFO into the face of that bird of prey. Resurrection bird to bring that Farah back in, but in the meantime, Saki has done more than even things up. 2 kills for Saki. Yet again, X-Aries forced to bring out the Mercy pistol, but it will be for naught.
Yes, right now, Lunar Guardians are in a very stable position. They will most likely be able to take this almost to the brink of overtime unless Kite is able to have a phenomenal high noon. Ansku does have that sound barrier to be able to counter this quite well, and Saki has a lot of sustain and can stall as long as she wants, with Primal Rage giving her all of that extra health.
Another deep dive in by Stewardess. Ivan gets the kill onto Kiwi, so that's always going to be a good early start for Leo's Angels, but we must see the follow-through as well. Saki, Primal Raging. Hansku goes down to Liwea as we have... Oh! What? UFO! Oh, stop it! It's dirty at this point. He blades, and now everything is in control for Lunar Guardians. They simply need to go for this cleanup. However, the Mercy does slip out of UFO's grasp. Luea gets a kill onto that Genji. Things once again are interesting here on the point. Leo's Angels trying their darndest. X-Series is so close to that Valkyrie, but they need the res right now. Stewardess is gone from the fight. Most of the bodies from Leo's Angels are nowhere even in the same zip code as Luea does go down. Ivan still alive, but the same can't be said for Kite as Emo Potato would get another great stick. Barrage coming in, and no, Ivan's out of it at his own hand. That's a feels bad overtime Wick now burning down as the resurrection comes back in. No ultimates to speak of for Lunar Guardians besides Saki's Primal Rage here. You don't want to have to use it until the very last second, so Sound Barrier comes in to provide a little bit more cushion for the Lunar Guardians. They've lost their Tracer, they've lost their Mercy at this point. Leo's Angels are hoping for a miracle. Cupcake back in the fight, has the Pulse Bomb at the ready. How long can Leo's Angels continue to stall here for their Tracer to get in? It's a wins from Luea. Sound Barrier's only himself. Cupcake gets 2, that's including your own kill, as Leo's Angels are still on this point.
This could be the opportunity for Leo's Angels to take this back. It is 3v3 on the point right now, with Cupcake going to be able to come back so quickly. Emo Potato's taken down by Stewardess. This is going the way of Leo's Angels, Ham.
This is insane in the very last seconds of overtime. In the 11th hour, Leo's Angels have taken flight. They will recap this point and have ultimates to hold.
The turn of the tide was when Reggie was finally taken out, eliminating the ability for that resurrection. All of that sustained from that healing and the damage boost for Lunar Guardians was taken away in an instant, and Cupcake was able to come back to the point so much more quickly than the rest of Lunar Guardians. Now, Leo's Angels has a major ultimate advantage, so this is a reversal, exact reversal of the situation we were just in.
Oh, but the 5-man EMP, where is the follow-through? It's going to be UFO taking down 2 before they themselves fall. Deep dive in by Saki, but in the meantime, Stewardess gets the Primal Rage kill onto Reggie. 3 more seconds, you have to have somebody to contest this point. Kiwi, forced to use the self-destruct, gets back into mech, actually, as Emo Potato finds the stick onto Luea. So, no beat possible. Right now, it's finisher. You got it! Yes, this will be the knife on top of the cake here for Lunar Guardians as overtime Wick burns down. We've gone the distance, folks, but Lunar Guardians will be your victors.
Ham, that was the best Li Zhang I have seen in ages right there. A complete swap overtime. Then Leo's Angels is able to come back from the brink of defeat, take it, exact reverse scenario. Lunar Guardians finally comes back thanks to UFO's phenomenal Dragon Blade. I'm ecstatic that we are able to see this quality of Overwatch today. It's so brilliant.
It's tons of fun, man. Look at the parity between these two teams. I mean, even though Lunar Guardians do take the series win, Leo's Angels were up and in it, staying competitive until the very end. You know, UFO versus Kite, right? Stewardess versus Saki. So many great head-to-head battles.
Yes, this is the perfect way for us to start off our days. Forget the coffee. All you need is Overwatch, maybe some kiwis, maybe some cupcakes, and maybe an emotional potato. But all in all, ham, it's going to, and a little bit of ham too.
Yeah,
but
look at that.
We will be able to see so many more great games, so much more great quality later throughout this day. So thank you, first of all, to Lunar Guardians and Leo's Angels for that brilliant first matchup. GG, well played.
Whew. We're going to go to a quick break, folks, between sets as we get the day ramped up here with the Death Blossoms Women of Overwatch Community Tournament. Take a breath. I'm going to need it. Bio break, Capri Sun, granola, whatever you have to have as we get geared up for some more great Overwatch coming your way in just a bit.